Buenas tardes. Vamos a tener una siguiente plática. Principalmente nos va a acompañar Rahut y después nos va a acompañar nuestro compañero Ryan. Nos van a estar platicando un poco acerca de pues, las plataformas y el Breaking Products. ¿Ok? Adelante.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rahul. I'm here from Blend, and I'm here with Ryan to present how we're unlocking developer productivity with Blend Builder. So yeah, let's move on. So this is the agenda. I'll talk a little bit about Blend, the problem that Blend is solving, the problem around developer productivity, how we're solving it with Builder, and we'll do a demo of the Builder product. Cool. First of all, a little bit about Blend. So our company mission is to make consumer finance simpler and more transparent, and to allow consumers to get better access to financial services. One of the ways we're doing this is to make it simpler for anyone to apply for any kind of financial product, and also for banks to offer those, financial institutions to offer those to consumers. Some of the products that Blend has built include mortgage, home equity, as well as other kinds of consumer finance products, auto loans, personal loans, deposit accounts. And you can see some of the success Blend has had. We have $1.7 trillion in loans that we processed in 2022. And we have some of the top financial institutions in the US. So let's talk a little bit about the problem that we have faced as a result of all the success we've had. We have lots and lots of financial institutions that we work with, as well as all these products that we offer. And what this results in is a lot of different disjointed app experiences that we have to manually piece together. You can imagine each financial institution has its own needs around how they want to offer their product. And that results in work for us to be able to offer that as a platform. Now, a lot of these financial products, they can be stressful to apply for. If you're a consumer, you're applying for a mortgage, that's quite stressful. If you're a financial institution that offers mortgages, there's a lot of complex regulations you have to follow. And that is something Blend has built a solution for. Now, there's also lots of fine-tuning that financial institutions would like to do. For example, each institution wants to differentiate itself, offer different kinds of user experiences, whether you're applying for a personal loan or a credit card. So imagine trying to build a platform that allows us to scale to so many different kinds of applications and financial institutions. Eventually, this results in complexity in the implementation. And so I'll talk a little bit more about the complexity. But really what this result boils down to is this problem that developers spend a lot of time tweaking parts of the application to better fit a specific financial institution's needs. And so that's the problem we want to solve. So let's talk about how we unlock developer productivity. Here are some quick numbers in terms of showing you the complexity of what we're managing. We have around 500 configurable data points that can be changed for each financial institution that we support. And we also have hundreds and hundreds of feature flags that we use to roll out features in a staged manner across our products. And you can imagine there's a combinatorial explosion with those two numbers. It's very difficult to test, difficult to maintain, and difficult to build. And so our solution to this is Blend Builder. Now, Blend Builder comes with a configurable data model, which allows different financial institutions to offer completely personalized products. Could you go back a bit? Yeah. It also allows financial institutions to configure their own workflows and business logic. And we'll see this in the demo, how you can actually write, to some extent, some amount of code around how you want to customize your products. This has been built to be self-serve. So you can imagine one of the simplest ways of interacting with any system is drag and drop. And that is what the Blend Builder allows users to do, to build applications. And we also offer rich integration support. This is where we allow you to call external systems to pull data from them using integration notes, as we'll see later. And now for a demo from Ryan.
So I was going to do a live demo, but some technical difficulties. So I just took some screenshots of our working application. It's kind of hard to see, but each one of those little nodes is either a form or an integration or a piece of logic in our code. And so in order to build a product, you no longer need to write code. You just drag components over. Some of those are forms, some of those are integrations, some of those are bits of logic that you configure, all of that. So here's, for example, one of the forms that we our interface for building forms. There's a bunch of components on the side, and you can drag and drop those over. You can also drag and drop different layouts. So if you wanted a horizontal or vertical layout, etc. Each one of the inputs is actually connected to a part of the data model that you configure. And every input can have validations, or you can have components render conditionally based on some logic. So all of that is, again, it's all drag and drop. And kind of the point is we have our engineers working on more difficult problems, such as building this platform itself, rather than doing a lot of conditional statements to do something like change the text. Like if someone wanted to change that text, we no longer have to make those changes in code. So yeah, that's one of the types of nodes that we support. We also support automatically previewing anything. So you can just in one click see how this would actually render for your customers. Also, all these themes are configurable, so you can build as many themes as you want and have as many brand identities or visual identities as you'd like. So here's just another simple type of node. We have decisions. So you could say this is a bit of logic. So if a field equals true, go down a completely different path in a workflow. Otherwise, if it's yes, go down a completely different path. So you can see that here. This decision node is there. If the answer is no, we show a different form. Otherwise, we run an integration. And so speaking of integrations, that's another node type. So you can add integrations. This is a little difficult to see. I didn't really think about the screen size, but you can make a request to a third party. And it's kind of hard to see the code. This is where it's like a low code platform. There is a bit of code in there. It's called Apache Velocity. It's a templating language, but you can take part of your data model and transform it and send that request off somewhere. And then likewise, you can take the response back and transform it, and that will get stuck on this dynamic data model that you configure. So we can go into the dynamic data model itself. So this is a completely UI-based method of creating an entire data model for a financial instrument. So you might have some applicants, they have their names, they have their date of birth, they have a social security number. You might want to encrypt those. So all of that is configurable. You can configure the encryption level of a given field. Also, every data model, in order to interact with it, we generate an API for that specific data model. And so an entire API is dynamically generated when you go to publish this application. And along with that is an open API document schema, which you can plug into a Swagger editor, and there's your entire third-party API for interacting with any of the entities that are associated with this product. That's definitely helps with developer productivity because no one has to write that API, and it's huge. And we can also have third-party institutions integrate against our data. So yeah, that's nice. There's also some aspects of building a low-code platform that that does not save developer time. So you can make mistakes, and so we also have to build in guardrails, and we have to detect when people make any sort of mistakes in building a product. So like for instance, maybe you forgot to hook up an input to a field, or many things can go wrong. You forgot to connect a node to another node. So when you're building tools that low code tools, you really need to build in guardrails. Otherwise, you're not really saving anyone time because they're trying to debug this application, and debugging a product that is built with a no-code tool is actually much more difficult than debugging something just with code. So you have to build really good debugging tools in order to effectively prevent the engineers from having to go in and help other people debug the products that they make. Additionally, there are other tools so in our dynamic data model, you can see every single node that a given field is used in. So where that becomes really important is if you're building an integration, this is where we have actual code inside this low code platform. So if you change the name of a field, for instance, you need to go back and change anywhere in text you actually referred to that field. And with this sort of an interface, you can get notified of where you need to go and make those changes. So yeah, that's all to say that building a low code platform can really save engineering time, especially when you have hundreds of different applications, hundreds of different products across hundreds of different customers and tenants, and different features that you're trying to build, and different copy that you're trying to change all the time. So building a low-code platform has saved all of our developers a ton of time. And yeah, there's a lot of extra work that we need to do to make this even better for engineers, but it's a good start. So yeah, if you're interested in learning more, we're definitely happy to talk. So I don't know, I think we have a little bit of time left, so I don't know if anyone has any questions. Can open it up.
¿Alguien tiene alguna pregunta?
Hello. Thank
Hi.
you for the presentation. My question is, what kind of control system you can use to your builder? Can we integrate Git, or what kind of control system, or how do you manage the version of your project?
Yeah, great question, actually. So currently, the every product can be serialized. So it can be serialized into JSON that you can check into Git, and that's currently how we are using version control to manage versions of these products. Coming up in the future, what I'm currently working on is building version control integrated inside of that tool. using some technologies called conflict-free replicated data types. And so that allows a couple things. It basically allows everything that you do to be a commit. So imagine that I moved a node somewhere. That's a commit. I changed some text. That's a commit. And so you can have multiple people doing that at the same time concurrently using these, they're called CRDTs. So that's kind of what I'm working on currently. But until that work is complete, for now, we just use Git to check in the serialized product.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
¿Alguna otra pregunta? ¿No? Ryan or Rahut, thanks. Si alguien tiene preguntas más personales que hacerles, pueden ponerse de este lado previo para poder continuar con la siguiente presentación. ¿Va? Muchísimas gracias y un aplauso para ellos.